Now, if you're starting golf this year, there are 3 things that you need to know. You've probably been down to the range, you've probably found it's quite difficult, but occasionally you get that amazing shot and you want to know how to repeat it, how to do it more often, and how to avoid some of the frustration that those bad shots cause. This video is perfect for you. What we're going to do is talk about an overall concept of the swing that's super simple. Also, how the ball gets in the air in the first place, how the actual club works, and finally a bit of technique that is the glue that holds the whole thing together, and for a beginner is the most important thing to learn. There's plenty to talk about. Let's get into it right away. So firstly, a super simple concept of what the club needs to do during the swing. It's really straightforward and a simple idea to grasp, and it is that what the club does coming back in the backswing, it also has to do in the follow through. So the club path is the same on either side of the ball. Can you see the angle of the shaft here? And if I go up to the top, my hands are over my right shoulder, and as they come through, I'm going to do the same thing. The club is on the same angle here and also over my other shoulder. It's like a door closing. If I can come up really close to the camera, imagine. Door comes from the same spot here on its hinges, back to square. Club face is pointing where it should, and then it goes back round the corner on the other side. So the swing, at whatever point you stop it at, is a mirror image. I call this 9 o'clock. You can see here, I think that the club shaft is horizontal, and it's also parallel with where I'm trying to hit the ball, and on the follow through I can do the same thing. We'll talk about a drill in a moment to get you started in the right way, but have a look at this 9 o'clock spot, and the club is perfectly parallel. If I swing in here, for example, I'd probably swing out there in the follow through. Can you see that's not going to be a mirror image? I call this being on the clock, 9 o'clock here and 3 o'clock there, and if I swing towards you, you see it very clearly. I think then the follow through, it is exactly the same. It's a really great concept, because then whatever length of swing you stop at, you can repeat on the other side and hit a straight shot. Now, of course, in golf, it's not just about the full swing. There are 20 other shots on the golfing curriculum that you need, all the way from a putt to a chip to a bunker shot to a long drive. And if you come in here, for example, you can't make a mirror image of that, so the ball has very little chance of going straight. If you come out here, of course, can't make a mirror image of that on the other side, probably swing across the ball here. So we get directional problems from being not on this super parallel line. So that is the first thing. It's a mirror image at this spot, a mirror image at this spot here. I call this the L swing for obvious reasons. And that's actually where you get the power from, but we'll talk about that in a moment. And then also up at the top here, hands are sitting over my shoulder, and then come back down on exactly the same line. You'll see this in the split screen, and through and up again over the right shoulder. So this idea of the swing being a mirror image is a really good one. It's super simple. The club comes from the same spot here, back to square to the same spot there. Right, let's look at a drill that's going to get you started in the right way. Now, getting started, super important. The body turns whilst the arms swing up. So a fantastic drill to get yourself started in the right way is just put the club just left of your tummy button, hold on to it with palms facing. We'll talk about the grip in it later on. Thumbs straight down, palms facing, and turn the tummy. And then the club, just at 8 o'clock, turn the tummy, and you'll see that the club starts to come back on that mirror image path to here. Now, at this point here, thumbs up. You see the line? It's on an angle. Shaft points at where the ball target line would be, and then we are kind of there in the mirror image path. Turn the tummy to 8 o'clock, thumbs up, and we go through this 9 o'clock. If I just did the tummy with no thumbs up, you can see I'd be miles off the clock, and I couldn't repeat this swing on the other side. And if I separate the club from my tummy, then I just lift my arm. So I've got too much of one and not enough of the other, but by turning to 8 o'clock, everything's together, and then the arms start to elevate, and you do have to swing a little bit up. Now, to start with, this is the best swing to get that effortless power that you experienced when you got that wonder shot. It felt so easy. And this L swing is, if there is a secret to effortless power, this is it. Can you see I've made an angle here between my left arm and the club? And what I'm going to do is straighten it and remake it. So again, from this view as well, the swing is a mirror image. And that way, I can get the club to swing nice and quickly. Can you see the angle on the follow through of the shaft is the same as it was in the backswing? Again, just as before, I'll swing towards the camera so you can see it very clearly here. And so whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. On one side, the left arm is reasonably straight, the right arm folds up into a box here, and on the other side, the left arm does what the right arm did on this side as well, and the right arm straightens. So you've got lots and lots of ways in which the swing is a mirror image. Now, the best thing for you to do, get some rhythm, get some power without throwing yourself all over the place. Best thing you can do is start with your feet together, turn the tummy to 8 o'clock, thumbs up, just to here. You can always go further, but just to here to start with, give you a chance to swing without overpowering it, but by creating some speed here, you get that swish, you get that effortless power that you see the pros do, that you see the good players do at the golf club. If you go to the golf club and watch the lower handicappers, this is what they all do. Turn to 8 o'clock, thumbs up here, swing through, and do the same on the other side. Now, there is one other little thing. You can also see how I've shifted my weight across onto the left foot. That is done for a very specific reason, which we'll come to in section 2. Now, second thing that we need to get right is our concept. Golfers very often do what they think they should, and many of you think that if you swing up, then the ball will go up. I'm going to put in the split screen an image of Scotty Scheffler, the world's #1 player, and you can see quite clearly that as he swings, the club descends, it hits the ball first, and then he takes quite a chunk of grass after the ball, a divot. No problem with that, as long as you put the divot back and leave the course as you found it, good general rule for all golfers, then that is absolutely fine and totally correct technique. Now watch this, the club descends, hits the ball underneath the equator. Again, you'll see in the split screen, the moment of impact, there's ball first, ground second. Club stays low to the ground as the ball takes off. Can you see that? Ball is hit under the equator. The loft of the club takes care of the elevation. The club stays low to the ground after impact, so it bruises the turf or takes a divot, and the ball can then fly. The opposite will happen if the club swings up. You'll do one of two things. You'll either hit the ground first because the lowest part of the swing is in front of the ball, or you will hit the top of it and make it roll. So very often a golfer's concepts or a beginner's golfer's concepts get in the way, and you see golfers doing this, swinging up and the head moving back, and then no good can come from that. If I just show you what that looks like here, if I swing back, there's no way that I can get to the bottom of the ball. If I shift my weight across as I swing down from this L spot, which is the starting spot, it shifts your weight slightly across. You can see that slightly lateral motion with the hips, the weight's on the front foot, and then I can swing my arms and hands and make the L on the other side. So what I recommend that you do, to start off with, feet together, then we can widen them, short swings first, then we can lengthen it, make an L swing, have the weight on the front foot, and swing through and get the club swinging. This is where that speed comes from making an L, releasing the L, and also hitting the ball on the downswing. you can see the loft of the club is increased, so the ball will go higher and shorter if you try and hit up at it, if you do manage to hit a good shot. But with the shaft leading a little bit like this, you can see how the hands are slightly in front of the club face at impact. This is what we're looking for, and so then we can take that little divot after the ball. Super important that you get that concept right, otherwise you'll be doomed to a life of either hitting the ground too early or topping it and never getting the full value of the power that you have got. Which brings us to number 3, that third element that holds the whole thing together and makes it possible for us to make the L and release it with speed, and also to deliver the club in this position at impact with the hands leading and the club face go without us even having to think about it. And strangely enough, surprisingly enough, it's the grip that does these things. Now, from the front, correct grip will look like this. Can you see there are 2 V's? I'll put up some famous golfers' grips and you can see how they all look pretty much the same. You never see a really great player with a bad grip, and you never see somebody who's really struggling with the game with a good grip either, or it's very rare. So this line here, this V, points to my right shoulder. I can see 1, 2, and a little bit of the third knuckle on my left hand. Why would I do that? Well, with the right palm, if I open up the hand, the right palm and the club face match each other beautifully. So if I make this movement, the club comes back straight. If I don't, I have it underneath here, my hand comes back in the same spot, but look at the club face, completely offline. If I do it too much over that way, straighten the right arm, the right shoulder comes up high too, but at impact, my palm faces the target, and look at the club face now, it's miles open. So that right palm faces in the same direction as the club face, and this left hand has enough knuckles showing that automatically at impact I come back with the hand slightly leading the club face like we talked about in section 2, so that I can take the divot in the right place and get the club square. If I have too few knuckles, again I'll come back to this spot hopefully and the club face will be open. If I have too many knuckles, then hand comes back again to the same place that the club face is closed. So the grip has a huge effect on where the ball goes and how the club is delivered. Now from the underside, this is perhaps the most important thing. What we need to do is get the left hand in the fingers. I love this routine from the world's #1 player, Scotty Scheffler, who incidentally has like a beginner grip trainer in his bag, and before he even hits balls, he practices his grip with this grip trainer. And again, you'll see in the split screen, I'll put up an image of it. It's molded so that you simply cannot get it wrong. But this is a really great routine. I've tried this with numerous pupils and it seems to really help get the club in the fingers in the right spot. You can see how the club is now right at the end of my fingers. You can see the whole of my palm. I call it Expelliarmus after Harry Potter. Fingers away. Yeah, it's not witchcraft, but this can help. Fingers away, fingers round. Thumb goes on top and the rest of the hand wraps round so that the club is really in the fingers. This is a great test from legendary player Ben Hogan. So the club is in the fingers and never ever in the palm like this. This is hopeless. The hands simply won't want to work in the right way. Can you see then I'll deliver the club with the hands behind and the left wrist will collapse rather than with a good grip. I'll be able to deliver the club with the hands leading and take that divot. And again, you don't need to think about this. It just happens if the grip is right. Can't stress enough how important this is to get right. So this Ben Hogan test is a great one. Expelliarmus. See the whole palm, club at the end of the fingers. Wrap the fingers around as your first thing. And you can see the logo on the top of the grip there. Get the thumb nail pretty much in line with that, but the rest of the thumb favouring the other side. So the left thumb favours the right just as the right thumb favours the left, and then your V's point up in the right spot. It's simply a checkpoint. Never straight up. Yeah, that is no good at all. V's to the right shoulder, 2.5 knuckles on the top hand, and the club in the fingers of both hands, and that is a great rule to get started. It's the glue that holds it together. Like if you had a ball in or a pebble, you want to skip it across a lake, you put it in your fingers. Try it. Yeah, you just put it in the fingers so that you could use that wrist to create power. And we're doing exactly the same thing in golf. In many ways, we're throwing the club at the ball to create speed, and we need the club in the fingers to be able to make this L, release it effectively, and remake it on the follow through. If there's one thing that you get right at the beginning of your golfing life, make it the grip. In golf, there are lots of shots that you need. In fact, there are 20 shots on the golfing curriculum, as I call it, that you need to get yourself around the course. Everything from a putt to a chip to a bunker shot to a drive, and you'll need them all. And this beginner swing is a great way to start to learn them all, because what we've done is we've learned a short shot at 8 o'clock, we've learned a 3/4 shot with the L, and we're on our way then to extending it and learning the full swing as well. So you can stop your swing at any point and come back and hit an appropriate shot for the length of shot that you face. It's a brilliant way. If you want to know more about the golfing curriculum, I'd recommend that you watch this playlist. It is of Matt, who was our club's worst golfer, and his journey through learning all the 20 shots in golf. He recently shot a 93. He started with an average score above 110, so he's really on his way. And you can be too. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.